Hello and welcome to another groovy video podcast. Today we're going to be discussing everything that we think is wrong with digital marketing within the entertainment industry. We've been working within this field for the last 5 years. Part of what we found out is that campaigns and marketing tends to be a rather fragmented process, both with large companies but also with smaller independents. And there are a lot of things that need to change in order for the marketing to take on a slightly more long-term view and to kind of fit with the advertising practices of, say, the fast mover consumer goods industries like Procter & Gamble being a good example. So there are a number of problems that we'd like to highlight that impact on the success of digital campaigns within the entertainment environment. The first thing is this idea around campaign thinking. Most content that gets released by the entertainment industry is original IP, as in it's an original storyline. Yes, there are franchises, but the way the whole mindset of the industry is set up is that the budgets are siloed into particular categories of content. So if you've got a new film coming up, that's all you talk about until that film is released, and then you're switching to a new title or a new piece of IP. We feel that essentially leads to a process where you're kind of reinventing the wheel every time you run into your next campaign. And you're not focusing on the long-term benefits of taking a more sustained approach to marketing. The other problem is the industry is rife with a lack of skills. Most people are coming into this industry either from a film background or from a media studies background without the fundamental understanding of the maths that's required behind digital marketing. This idea of understanding performance, understanding the impact of data, figuring out what's effective, isn't really the focus of a typical marketing manager's role. They're much more focused on how the creative looks, what happens with the trailer, how good does the film's actual brand look when it reaches the audience, rather than who is the audience, how are they being reached, what are they doing, and did they actually end up buying the product. And we've encountered this numerous times with campaigns where we'll be talking with one marketing team. The campaign will be very, very important up until the point of the day of release, and then they're on to the next project. And when we hand in our reports at the end, it's kind of, not really that exciting anymore. One of the main reasons for this is within the industry, there's too much of an over-reliance on agencies. Agencies basically are outsourced skilled groups that manage the campaigns from a digital marketing and digital advertising perspective. So they take the brief from the client, they create the breakdown of where they think the audience is, and then they take the creative and place that on various exchanges. When I say exchanges, I mean things like Facebook, Twitter, the Google's delivery network, and try and buy this audience. And that is quite an important skill to have in-house, and we haven't encountered really any companies that are making moves towards that, although we believe that's the way that they should. Ideally, a marketing team should have a programmatic controller within the team who understands the direction of a campaign and can see the campaign emerge minute by minute and make the changes that are required. Today, we have a very, very First World War approach within the entertainment sector toward digital marketing. Campaigns are planned months in advance, and then on the day of release, not much really changes. And if you followed our article on It Follows, you'll see just how important that can be. In that article we discussed, and also the video that we made about it, we discussed how we were wrong. And we needed to change very quickly in order to make maximum use of the remaining budget that we had, because our initial targeting was completely off, and actually what we were doing was damaging the campaign and not helping it. So those are the kind of the three main areas. What ties this all together is data. It's now possible with an online advertising to gauge a sense of who your audience is, so that the next time you release something within a specific genre or has some kind of similarity or touch point for your next film. Say you're working on a film with Woody Harrelson and it's an action comedy drama, and 6 months later you do the same kind of thing and there's another actor who's within Woody Harrelson's sort of category. You should, as a marketing team, be looking at cross-promotion, at taking those audiences that you've already bought and reinstituting them as retargeting, which is a big word right now, into buying known sets of audience for this new campaign. And you can't do that unless you're controlling things yourself and you have this education and awareness that's within the team. And also you're taking a more holistic approach, which is not siloed, which isn't budget dependent on one title, but is much more long-term and consultancy based in the way that you market content. That's this week's wrap. Thanks very much for watching.